Let's discuss. Hey everyone, it's Rachel back again with another reaction video, and today I will be checking out a new single from Boundaries called Heaven's Broken Heart. It is taken from their upcoming album Burying Brightness, which will be out on October 14th through 3 Dot Recordings. And I did a couple of Boundaries videos when my channel was really new. I did I'd Rather Not Say and Carve off of Your Receding Warmth, which is an album that really grew on me over time too, so I have no idea. I don't remember what my initial reaction was to those songs. I'm assuming I dug them, but I know that that album as a whole was one I started getting more and more into the more I listened to it, and after the first time I saw them live. So now I'm very stoked for this upcoming album, this new song, to see what the album feel will be with the first single. I will link any information I can find in terms of pre-orders and such, all of Boundaries' social media in the description, as well as the music video I'll be reacting to. Other than that, I'm going to stop talking and we are going to get straight into it.
Night falls fast. Every eye in the sky graduates tonight. Walk on the dawn of sacrifice. The world fired. The essence of hate and aborted. Canker love and beauty distorted. This is only the beginning. Oceans boiling in black. Darkness falls fast. Darkness falls so fast on the unsuspecting masses. Is this to be the night of rapture start? The consequence of heaven's broken heart. Skin, gold, burning glass. The pillars of light reduced to fucking ash. I breathe in your anger, intention, and bitter. Spell the shame. Spell the shame. Your failed attempt at sadistic extension. Look in the face of your only option. Kill, conquer, destroy, dismember. I lace the skin of a prison life. Like new kind of death, torturing divine. Shell skin monster, vomiting genocide. Is this how you fashion paradise? Is this how it's all that you would die?
I love that part. All right. Boundaries, Heaven's Broken Heart. Let's discuss. Aggressive with various different grooves that were really catching to me and such. The chorus on the song threw me for a surprise, really, because with Boundaries, I think I'd Rather Not Say is one of my favorite tracks from them. And I bring that up because it sort of like encompasses the things that have been my favorite things about the band, and it's got to do with the vocals, the emotion expressed in the vocals. I can't remember if I have no idea what I talked about in the actual video I made for that track, because it was a long time ago in YouTube terms. I've done a lot of songs since then, and a lot of listening to that album too since I first heard those songs and such, but for me it was like, and the repetition too. Repetition I've talked about on the channel, it could be make or break for me, and it has to be something sort of emotionally driven and such, and Boundaries does a really good job of that normally, and this felt like it grabbed me in different ways than I'd Rather Not Say does, and it wasn't just a matter of like having that chorus, but like what I'm talking about with having the multiple different grooves to get into. The vocals obviously still as expressive as anything that I've heard from Boundaries. I don't think that it takes away from that still being something that pulls me to the band overall. There was just a lot going on in this like 3 minutes of song that was pulling me in different directions in a good way, but other than the vocals really pulling my attention, except I was surprised to hear the chorus on this really being the way that it was. The structure of it I don't think was as surprising for me, because I wasn't expecting the chorus to be there. So in that way, that style of course, I'm not saying like didn't expect one at all, but I wasn't expecting that style. So that in itself for me was a bit surprising. I think I was more, usually I'm focused on like that angry sort of expressive sound that I've been drawn to for them, and that the groove is definitely something that stood throughout their discography for me, being something that I do look for, and seeing them live too. Some of the bass drops and such, they're just a really fun band to see live. So going into it, that's really I think where my focus was, some cymbal work and stuff, and they have like those elements of like more, I've talked about how I don't listen to a ton of hardcore music that's not like somehow mixed in with like metalcore in some type of way, or like, you know, just straight up hardcore. I don't listen to a lot of that, and I feel like some bands that pull in some of like the two-step hardcore stuff but very vocally and such, like Boundaries, I really love. And I feel like seeing Boundaries, Distinguisher, and like Body Snatcher on a tour would be for me, because it's like, it's almost like, I don't want to call it beatdown really, but some of like the same instrumental stuff I'm talking about, those types of bands were like outside of my realm for a long time, like not something I listened to. And now if any of y'all know me or follow my social media or anything, Distinguisher is like 100% one of my most listened to bands. I love them. But my taste, anyway, the point being, those bands sort of have pushed my taste outside of that. If at one point it was like, oh, I can name like these 3 specific bands that like I listen to that are really like ride whatever line, but I'd say now it's like that's less the case. I think I had mentioned Boundaries in a video about another band. I can't remember what it was, but I had mentioned at that point that it was like those 3 bands. It feels different now, and Boundaries would be a band I would consider as one that helped me sort of push that. But anyway, it has everything Boundaries that I'm looking for. It has more than that too. You've got a variety of vocal things going on here. Vocal things is just how I'm gonna call that. I've been talking for far too long about like nothing, so I'm gonna wrap this up anyway. I'm gonna put this on repeat. I really dig this. The style on, I think, the 3rd vocalist that we got introduced to in the song, at least, that rides more of that line I'm talking about, I think in a production sense, that sort of floats outside of what I listen to a lot, even though it's like directly in, like related to a lot of stuff I listen to, if that makes sense. Anyway, the video, all of Boundaries, social media, any sort of pre-orders or merch will be in the description of this video. Let me know what you thought of the song. Other than that, you can find my link tree in the description as always, which will have the invite for the Discord server that I talk about in every single video. We've got music-related conversation unrelated to music as well, just sort of a lot going on, a busy community. So if you're interested in coming to join, check it out. That will be there, as well as my Instagram profile link, where I do post all music-related content. I post music chart type of thing on Friday, a chart of what I listened to the most over the course of the week, top 25 EPs, albums, singles, or whatever I've been listening to and how much I listen to it. I post my never-ending merch collection. I'm constantly getting more merch, expanding my merch collection, so I post on there sometimes, and then I'll also sometimes post if I've been to a show recently and have pictures or videos to share, that sort of stuff. So my handle on there is the same as my YouTube channel. It is Rachel Reacts, but again, it will be in that link tree in the description if you have any interest in following me. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.